나도 네가 웃는 꿈.
Plastic particles of less than 5 mm size, referred as microplastic, have recently become a major environmental issue. While microplastics are well known in marine and lake systems, there have been less investigation in soils and groundwater. Here, I review the origin, impact, and the mitigation strategies of soil and groundwater microplastic. I found that littering is the main origin of microplastic in global topsoils, while greenhouses are the main source of microplastic in South Korea. Fibers and pellets are dominant microplastic shapes in soil and groundwater. Microplastic contamination of soil and groundwater is detrimental to human health, plants, nematodes, earthworms, and soil properties. Remediation methods include pyrolysis, replacing plastic by biodegradable plastic, plastic filtration, and subsequent chemical or biological degradation. Basically, microplastics are divided into two categories, which are primary microplastic and secondary microplastic. In primary microplastic, there are industrial abrasives, personal and specific care products, and raw materials or processed subproducts. In secondary microplastic, there are general waste littering and abrasion from landfill, fibers, and plastic materials from organic waste. What is groundwater microplastic? The microplastic found in groundwater are about 60 pieces per liter, and this is due to ubiquitous and persistent existence of this microplastic in nature. Groundwater contamination is a serious threat to human and the environment. People have become very curious about what could be the possible impacts of groundwater microplastic on the environment and human health. Studies on groundwater microplastic impacts are now highly needed, especially following the discovery of the North Pacific Central garbage and microplastic in 93% of 260 drinking water sources from 11 countries. As you can see from this slide, the figure shows the locations of groundwater microplastic. They are to be found in India, USA, and Germany. The researchers do some categorization based on their abundant species per liter and their bore well depth. The origin of soil microplastic are irrigation, coated fertilizer, sewage sludge, plastic mulching, littering, waste dumping, abrasion from tiles, atmospheric disposal, and some unidentified origin. They are found in regions such as China, Japan, Spain, Colombia, Australia, Mexico, Pakistan, Ghana, as well as Chile. Figure A shows global average soil microplastic concentration, while Figure B shows the global percentage of soil. As you can see, the yellow is America, orange is Australia, green is East Asia, blue is Europe, and the red one is the Middle East. The impact of soil microplastic are on soil properties, on plants, on human health, as well as on the other species. Soil microplastic on soil properties. Microplastic in the soil will change the physical and chemical properties of the soil. Microplastic in soils alter soil physical properties such as soil bulk density, water holding capacity, through altering the soil's porosity, which in turn impacts soil water dynamic and soil structure through soil water evaporation by creating channels for water movement. Microplastic in the soil can change soil organic carbon (SOC) in the short term, thus leading to an overestimation of SOC estimation in the quantification process. In addition to increasing organic carbon content, microplastic in the soil will also change other soil nutrients by increasing soil chemical properties such as organic phosphorus and phosphate, organic nitrogen, and ammonium nitrogen. Soil microplastic on plants. With regards to plants, people's curiosity is whether plants can take up microplastic from either soil environment and accumulate them, or how will microplastic influence plant growth and biomass quality. Pollution of soil with microplastic can change the growth of plants. This change in plants' growth can be reflected in carbon allocation and biomass production. After adding either polyvinyl chloride or polyethylene or polyethylene microplastic to the soil, the addition of high-density polyethylene, polylactic acid, or polylactic and fibers can cause significant stress in Lolium perine or perennial ryegrass. Microplastics have a hydrophobic surface that permits them to act as a vector. microplastic can easily serve either as a medium for the redistribution of either pollutants, heavy metals, or microorganisms in soil. A research by Wang 2020 found that cadmium, a heavy metal, will coexist with polyethylene and polylactic in soils and cause root symbiosis and hinder the plant growth. Soil microplastic on human health. Microplastics are generally considered to be inert substances with low chemical reactivity, small size, and easily absorbed by organisms or humans. Some scientists have proposed theories that microplastic can penetrate animal cells through macrophages or vascular endothelial cells. Humans may directly ingest microplastic in soil or groundwater either through directly drinking water or the consumption of animals and plants that have absorbed this microplastic, then transfer them to humans through the food chain. Microplastic can also either be ingested through human skin or subsequently cause skin infections. It can cause unexpected discomfort or health problem. It may also cause toxic effects, produce oxidative stress, and cause tissue damage and chronic inflammation to the human body. Soil microplastic on other species. The accumulation of microplastics in the soil has a destructive effect on soil microorganisms. Nematodes that normally feed on soil may eventually suffer from obstruction of the digestive system and eventually die after foraging from soil contaminated by microplastic. So, the question is, can soil microplastic pollution be used to control soil nematodes? A ground-residing organism, such as the springtail Labellosaccharides species, may be trapped in soil pores contaminated by microplastic. And excessive consumption of microplastic by snails can damage its excretion and eating organs in the long run. This would eventually seriously injure the gastrointestinal tract. Mitigation strategies. Firstly, by reducing the quantity of contamination released from the source into both environments. Sewage sludge is a source of microplastic to soils and groundwater can be mitigated through pyrolysis. A good way to mitigate soil and groundwater microplastic is to reduce plastic utilization, plastic mulch, or substitute plastic with biodegradable plastic within food production system, as they cannot replace completely. Soil microplastic could be elevated simply by extractions of microplastic from environmental either through filters or pumps, followed by intensive chemical or biological degradation in reactors. A better approach to mitigating soil microplastic involving researching the occurrence and distributions of soil microplastic on a wider scale and developing a consistent protocol. Strong analytical tools should be developed to quantify the release of microplastic to the soil environments from different sources, especially industrial and mismanaged domestic waste. Suggested mitigation strategies to stockholder, which could be useful for both soil and groundwater microplastic mitigation since both are interconnected in some. These strategies include control of production and consumption, the utilization of recycled plastic, decrease plastic utilization, utilize more renewable energy, and upgrade and garbage gathering approaches. Strategies such as pyrolysis, replacing plastic with biodegradable plastic, plastic filtration, and subsequent chemical can reduce the occurrence of microplastic in soil and groundwater. As conclusion, owing to natural or human factors, land pollution caused by soil microplastic continues to rise. Today, microplastic have also been found in groundwater systems, yet it is still necessary to conduct an extensive and comprehensive study on the occurrence of microplastic in groundwater, especially when the terrestrial environment may be a possible source of microplastic. Few recent studies have shown that microplastic in terrestrial environments are all over the place, which suggests that some microplastic from soil may penetrate deeper soil layers and eventually into the groundwater system. This fact implies the possibility that the occurrence of microplastic in groundwater is highly related with soil.